Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio tutorial, and this is our second part on the creating music video. Now we will work in Adobe After Effects. Be sure you have it prepared pieces before, so its tutorial will be based on some stuff we did it in the previous tutorial. So let's go. We have a fill file. We'll create new composition, and I'll just create widescreen. Okay, 24 frames. Let's click OK. Here is our new composition. Let's go right now to layers, new, camera, and we'll just leave it 50 millimeters default. Let's click OK. Okay, so we have a camera right here. Next, let's import all those files that we created, images. So we go right click and go import multiple files. Okay, and we'll just select all of them. Click OK. Okay, well done for this one. And here's our images. So let's go right now also import some animations. And so we'll go file, import file. Okay, and here's some files that I created before. So let's open some of them. And it's heavy with alpha, so we don't care. Let's click OK. Okay, here we can preview, and let's maybe open some other one. Okay, right now let's prepare. This is a shot on a green screen, and actually I select that one video because it's done in garage. So you don't need to have a big studio with a largest green screen. You can do in your home, on a backyard or in garage. So here we have an image, and right now let's a little bit stretch this way. Let's apply mask to this. So I want to remove it here. This is very rough, and now we'll key out. Alright, so we go effect, keying, go keylight. Let's select our green color. Now I want to go to okay, screen mate, and we'll go to pre-blur just a little bit, give it so better on the edges. Okay, let's go to screen mate, and I want to make a little bit white and clip black, so we have it more distinguished. Okay, also I want slightly shrink down so the edges will be sharper, and let's change color, be slightly greenish kind of. We add a little bit more green, and we'll leave it on a soft light. Okay, let's go back now and switch to final result. So this is what we have it. And this point, what I like to do with so we don't have it all these effects here, I'll actually like to do go to layer in a pre-compose, so it will create another composition class. Okay, and I just like edit in one. Okay, at this point we can set this as 3D, and if we go to left, we can see now we can manage move it left and right, and in a second we'll actually, when we start adding layers, this will be helpful to us. Also to rotate and switch, we will use the hand tool, so you can move around. And I really recommend, if you kind of remember this shortcut, and it's easy. If you go over, it will pop up, and we'll have it like V for these tools, H for the hand, for the camera rotation, C, and let's have it very helpful tool. Just try to remember them, because it's much easier switch than using going in other place. So okay, let's go back to our camera view, and here is our main camera. Now let's go to project and start importing. One thing, we have it our back, put it right here, and again switching to 3D layer. Okay, and we can go from here to move far away, which will be on a distance. And one nice thing is actually, if you want it, you can pre-create your background scenes, and we have it like our Pro Sky when we created high resolution, high definition still images that you can reuse, and you can pre-build your own library or use ours if you want it for your backgrounds. So we're done with the setting background. Now let's go work on a front, and we have it our camera, and if you notice, so we position them in 3D layers, they already kind of apply 3D environment. So let's move just slightly this way. Okay, let's go select our ground. Yeah, we'll just drop and drag. And the ground again, we'll go to set 3D. We'll go to rotation tool, go to the X, you see it pop up and rotating. And if we press shift, it will lock. So we'll set to this, press V to switch. Now let's drop it down. And you can notice when we start dropping ground, so it's kind of matching. Let's increase a little bit bigger this way. And if you want it, just cut about right here. So let's switch camera tool, and here's our ground. You know what, maybe we actually want to increase more. So let's go to the left view. And okay. Here's our background, and here's so we can drop more or extend so it will be bigger. Okay, what I want to do, I want to just increase. So we have a ground distinction. There you go. Okay. So at this point, we can stop other elements of our scenery. We can import the front. So let's take, and here in the front, there's a couple things I want to show you. So let's select front, and remember we have an alpha front. So we'll select both of them. Drop and drag. Okay, on this one. Also, be sure your mode is enabled, and if you don't have this column, you just right click, go to columns and select modes, check right here, because you may have it just like this. Okay, and when is mode enabled, then when we will start set up relationship, work with our alpha. So we'll go to and now we'll set this way. Let's add a 3D. Okay, let's go. Okay, select our ball front on this one and move them just a little bit, actually on the back, maybe right here. And be sure you select both of those. You again, if you want, you can pre-compose them, so will become one layer. But for this one, I just want to leave it here so we can see it. Okay. Again, if we want it, we can click and can preview. So we have it here. You can see our layers, and we'll start using them in a second. Actually, you know what? This layer is a little bit too far. Let's move it closer to our pirates. Okay. And you know what? Let's also make just a bit smaller. Okay. Now also on the pirates, what you notice, we don't have shadows. So we want to create shadows for our pirates. Let's go, when we're selecting, press Ctrl D to duplicate. Okay. And this is the layers going. So this will be layer behind them. And this one will be on the top. So the positioning, sometimes it does, you can rearrange. But if you start working on one below, you maybe don't see changes. So let's select top one, and after we'll move it. And again, if you want rename, you just press enter. One is selected, and we call shadows. So if you want to rename, you can go to your layer, click there, and rename it. Okay, now when we have our shadows selected, let's go to effect, go to color correction, use saturation. We'll just drop it gamma, and we'll drop so we have it black outlines. Next we're going to add blur and sharpness. Let's go to fast blur. We'll just add a bit more blurriness behind them. Also we can rotate them to add and do this way. Also other things, what I want to do is go to effect, to transition, and go to liner wipe, say about here. Okay, let's go right from the top. So I want kind of shadow disappearing from the top a little bit. So we'll say this way, and let's go increase feather, so it will be darker here and the dissipation like more clear on top. Okay, at this point we can take and put it behind, and we have a nice shadow going on the back of them, kind of link on the ground. Okay, so let's look. Here we have our guys dancing. Okay, we also can select both shadow and let's make them smaller. Maybe bring right here. So we'll have our pirates dancing just right here in the grass. Okay, this is look very good. Let's right now add additional layers, and what we're going to do is just take our house, and we'll do same things with a house alpha or other things. And you can do two ways. You can prefer do them here, or if you want it, you can actually go in Photoshop and do as a PNG file. So it's whatever you like it the best. Go to the left, and we'll move. Oops. I'll move both of them. Go right here, and again, if you want it, you can select them, go composition, oops, and recompose as well if you want it. So in that case, you will have just only one layer to work with. Okay, let's switch again to 3D. Go to camera, and now if we look on a camera, we have houses right behind. So let's go to take and move it a little bit on the back, and make them bigger. So right here. So in that case, when we have our camera flying, we can go over and move it over these houses. Again, this is primitive things what I'm doing. What I recommend you, if you want it, you can go ahead and create more and a little bit more in details. And sometimes it's also a little bit, okay, so add right here ground. Rotate our tool. We have our composition right, and we also can select our back, maybe bring it a little bit closer. Adjust. There you go. So we have a little bit more room to play with our sky. Okay, let's go add our other houses. So we have house 2. I'll just put right here same. Okay, let's take this one, move above, and mask on this one, make 3D. Let's move them a little bit behind. here we have our distant city. Again, we can apply filters after. Yeah, I think this is very good for the beginning, for the test. So let's go right now to our camera. Okay. And we can start animating our camera positioning at this point. To do this, we'll just expand camera, and we have a transform. So right here you have the clock symbols. By clicking on them, you will enable keyframes. So we're going to position, orientation, okay, and this is take our initial. Let's just move camera a little bit ahead. Okay, we'll add also key to those ones, and we'll just take our camera and move up and maybe slightly turning this way. Okay. And to do tracking, so we'll go right in camera, hold down, and we'll go have our camera adjustment. So we'll fly a little bit above. Now let's go to zoom in. Okay. Put it a little bit right here. And again, when you probably what you want to do and what we did before, we put a lot of different buildings. So we have it like this, fly over. Let's go move a little bit more at this point, and we'll just adjust. Going to our XY. Okay, maybe going right here. Let's go move. One nice thing is when we start zooming in, we pass this layer. Okay, we're a little bit too close. So you notice here is where we pass our layer. And here our plane. Okay, so let's preview. Here we have our pirates. Again, we kind of probably want a little bit adjust camera position at this point. And there you go, we have it flying over and going to our city. Again, this is example. And what you want to do, you probably want to work a little bit more on a camera adjustments and positioning, a little bit more on keyframing. Also, if you want it, you can go ahead and enable the motion blur. It will add better effect. Also, be sure you enable here on your main, in other case it won't showing. And just experiment, add more stuff, more details, and it will take much longer than 20 minutes to do very nice animation. Okay, and we'll go next in a next tutorial and do some other parts as well with particle illusion. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please come visit us on the web at www.geekatplay.com.